Good evening. It is Sunday, 9 p.m. Central European Time. It's 8 p.m. in the UK, and you are watching ESC Fan TV for another RetroVision. Yes, in 1993, Radio Telefis Aaron hosted on behalf of Ireland, and they, at that time, performed Ireland's largest, most expensive outside broadcast ever, live from Mill Street. As you can see, as homage to this, I too have spent some time creating an outdoor broadcast. Ta-da! Except mine didn't cost £2.2 million. But with me tonight, there is a fantastic panel of guests ready to take us through the highlights of that contest that happened just a mere 31 years ago. Joining us as always, we have the ESC Fan TV Golden Couple. They are, how can I put this? They are our Terry and Ulrika. They are our Mans and Petra. It's Phil and Michelle. Good evening.
Good evening.
Bonjour, bonjour. I've come in Switzerland.
And I haven't. Sorry.
Moi tout simplement.
Monsieur.
Touche, touche, mahogany gas pipe. Also joining us, we've got the lovely Sean. Good evening, Sean.
Oh, hi. Good evening, everybody. Now, contrary to popular belief, I've not come as Audrey off Coronation Street. I'm supposed to be one of Avantgarde from Sweden. And yeah, so this is fun. This will be a really good show. I'm pretty sure of it.
I'm loving the mullet. It's amazing. What was it? Miracle Grow you put on your hair, Sean? Just to make it go like that.
Exactly, that's what it is. It's all my own hair. Yeah.
Love it. Didn't realise we had a wig budget for this show. Otherwise, I would have put my request in.
Joining us, and if there is one, I'll put a request in.
Well, joining us, we've also got the fabulous Mick. Good evening, Mick.
Good evening, everybody. It's a lovely, warm day. But Eurovision warms our hearts all the time.
You should have created an outside broadcast like me. It only cost me 2p.
Yeah, I don't think the neighbours are ready for me in this getup.
You should be in a secluded paradise like me, or sit at a low table, out of sight, out of mind. Also joining us, we've got the fabulous Matt. Good evening, Matt.
Bonjour, bonjour.
Yes, another French entry. You are?
I've completely forgot his name. 1 minute. The one represented France.
Patrick Fiore.
That's it. Thank you.
There we go. Do you know what, Matt? You could have covered it up. You could have just burst into Mama Corsica.
Oh, yes.
It would have been fine. And also someone who's also decided to go for a red and black colour scheme this evening. It's Alina.
Hello. And also I want to say sorry, apologize in advance if you hear baby noises. I have my baby with me, so sorry if you hear the littlest fan screaming.
It's just too cute. We are just indoctrinating the future in the ways of Eurovision. Right, guys. Before we start, let's just give a little bit of background to this. So, Eurovision 1993. It was held on the 15th of May, Mill Street in Ireland. It was actually held in an equestrian centre. They had to dig out the floor and everything to accommodate the staging because they needed the height. They also had to upgrade the railway line and the town's railway station to accommodate everyone as well. Sadly, Yugoslavia were missing, but 25 countries competed, including 3 very important countries for the first time, because we are going to hear entries tonight for the first time ever in Eurovision history. This is from Bosnia-Herzegovina, Croatia and Slovenia, who actually had to go through a special preliminary round alongside Estonia, Hungary, Romania and Slovakia to actually get into the contest. At 25 countries, could you believe this was the largest Eurovision ever? How could it get any bigger than that? Find your crystal ball and come back to 2024. Whew, it gets a bit bigger, doesn't it? As I've said, it was RT's largest outdoor broadcast, and the joy of opening the show went to Italy. Now, guys, throughout the show, we're going to be looking for your opinions in the chat room as well. So if you're in the chat room, do give us your views on the songs. We've grouped the songs roughly into groups of 6, give or take. Those of you that are good at maths will realise that 25 into 6 doesn't necessarily go. So there's going to be an odd group of 7 there as well. See, I knew you'd be on the ball. Right, panel, are you ready? Okay, let's get this show started. Here are songs 1 to 6.
Giocano a vivere, ma si consumano e i giorni non cambiano mai. Svegliati sole, fatti sentire, oggi nessuno domanda di te, ma le anime stanche aspettano il sole, dicono che verrà, donaci un raggio di luce nel buio che c'è, sorgi per noi, sali con noi, scaldaci ancora. Seni görmez duymaz olaydım. Esmer yarim, nasıl yarim, esmer yarim, tatlı şirin. Sanki çarpıldı, hatta sarsıldı. Esmer yarim, tatlı şirin. 8 ned til mig. Og verden svinder ind til ingenting, når jeg ser på dig. Umådelige eventyr. Og når stjernerne på himlen sejler nu med mig. Luk nu stille dine øjne, og så er vi på vej. Σε τρώει το σαράκι. Τη μια μας παίζουν ροκ, την άλλη τσιφτετέλη. Παιδιά του Πλάτωνα και του Αριστοτέλη. Τη μια μας παίζουν ροκ, την άλλη τσιφτετέλη και του Αριστοτέλη.
Hey, we had some fabulous songs there. Italy, Turkey, Germany, Switzerland, Denmark, and Greece rounding it off. Oh, Sean, give us your favourites. What 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 stood out for you out of
So
those six?
well, slim pickings, I've got to say, but I really like Greece. I love that song. It's more like it upbeat. I like the song from Denmark as well, Seaback Band. But why were they all stood around in a circle? It's like, you know, like some of them must, you know, had the backs to the audience. Someone always had the backs to the camera. It just didn't make sense, that staging at all, really. But it was a good song. And I thought Annie Cotton's song for Switzerland was actually really, really strong. I thought the first three were pretty dull. In fact, Turkish song starts off and they're going dull, 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 dull. But you know, it got better from here on in. So yeah.
This is true. This is true. Mick, I notice you're wearing blue, and I know you're an homage to the Finnish act. But at any point, did you think to yourself, Greece? You know, you could have laden yourself in some gold with that this evening.
I think I'm being very daring in this. You know, if I got into the Greek outfit, I think the neighbours would definitely start to worry. And I'm not so sure about the split down the side as well. You know, I mean, you know, this is covering up quite a lot. So
we could have edited it out.
I think Mick's saving his Greece outfit for his OnlyFans.
Yeah. But yeah, it wasn't a bad start. I mean, unfortunately, it was quite a weak entry from Italy for once. You know, to start us all off. I liked his little marching on the spot at one point. That was good. And Turkey having the you know, the Turkish Shane McGowan. You know, so that was all right. But I think for me, the German was a little bit like middle of the road kind of pop kind of things that you would hear on the radio, and you just forget about it really. Being a bit of a ballad queen, I think Switzerland really stood out for me. You know, that was the big one. Lovely voice.
Yeah.
Simple outfit.
Yeah, I have to say, and I'm looking in the chat room if we can pull up some of those comments. Switzerland seems to be the one getting the attention in the chat room. There, lots of people suggesting that, you know, it's liked, but you forget it afterwards. Not convinced it deserves third place. See, this is the thing. I really like the Swiss song. I'm going to come to Michelle on this one, obviously dressed as Switzerland. She performed fourth. Was this a case of the curse of fourth harming Switzerland's there? Because could she have taken away large prize as la première chanson?
I don't think she would have won, but I think if she'd have gone later on, she'd have definitely done better. She might have just picked past Sonia. You never know. But that's it. You see, going forth it's never a good idea.
No. There's some other good songs though, weren't there? I mean,
well, for a start, Denmark. Why did they only have one drum and one cymbal? What's that about? Why have they not got a drum kit? He seemed a bit mean.
Yeah, and Greece. I mean, apart from the risky dress, there was a guitar, the old Voyager guitar thing, and bongos as well, like bongos.
And Turkey, the song sounded like Faith, and the guitarist in the background was dressed as George Michael in the Faith video.
And did you notice the Italian bass player was like Italian Brian May as well? With his curly hair and his like leather waistcoat.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure I was robbed with Moitou's implement.
Moitou's implement. Welcome to Yorkshire.
Should have done better.
I have no words sometimes, but I'm going to throw a question out. Who should we go to? Let's go to Matt on this. This obviously was a time of change for Eurovision. Some problems with some, because we've said some of these are quite uninspiring. Do you reckon it's just because we see them as a bit old-fashioned? And I'm going to pick on Denmark for this straight away because, and I know, and I people at home. I know Tommy Seaback, it was his 3rd time entering. I know he is very well thought of, and I think very well of him as well. But at 22nd place, it followed Switzerland. Was the Danish entry just a bit too old-fashioned for 1993?
Yeah, I thought it was very old-fashioned, and I think just in general, there were a lot of entries that were quite old-fashioned. There were people turning up in mullets, and I just felt like a lot of the countries at the start, it was as if they just couldn't be bothered. They couldn't be bothered to turn up.
Our Bingen has just had a haircut.
And for me, I just thought, thank God we have Eurovision now, where the producers get to pick the songs, because I just thought you couldn't, apart from Switzerland, you couldn't have picked any worse songs to start off. And I just think a lot of people that watched Eurovision from the start, they probably would have just turned off. And Denmark in particular, I just thought it was just so old-fashioned. I just thought, God, not a good start at all for me.
And finally, let's just go to Alina. What are your favourites out of this lot?
Well, first of all, in my opinion, every song was old-fashioned.
Oh, come on, even Switzerland, because I think Switzerland actually would, even today, I think that Swiss entry would still actually stand up in the modern contest.
Not for my taste, but my favorites were actually Denmark and Italy.
Oh, whoops. Those are the 2 entries. I've got old-fashioned written next. Oh dear, this has not gone down well.
No.
By the way, for those people at home, don't forget how sweaty is Sean in that outfit. Please give him marks out of 10.
I'm literally 2 minutes before the show started, ran in from a family meal. We've all been for an Indian on one of the hottest days of the year, and now I'm wearing this. So don't be surprised if I change costume halfway through the show.
You couldn't make it up. Right, guys, we are through the first 6 songs. 6 more coming up. I'm going to ask you at home and also the panel to pay particular attention to song number 7, because song number 7, as long-time Eurovision fans may know, there was an award named after song number 7. But do you think it was deserved? Let me know in the comments when you have a watch. Let's take a look.
Elle est comme ces vieilles dames en noir qui portent en elles leur histoire. Mama Corsica. Il paraît même que le bon Dieu, il en était fou amoureux en la dessinant de ses doigts. Mama Corsica. Mondo na oggi stasera che per te. Mama Corsica. Così le monde chantait encore pour te saluer. Mama Corsica. Mama Corsica.
Well, there we had it. Belgium, Malta, Iceland, Austria, Portugal, and France. Panel, there is a lot to unpack there. Some you may not have even thought about yet. I hope. Who should we go to? Who looks? Sean, you look like someone who would do some very good choreography. Did you get the Maltese dance in? Has it picked up on that?
I love the. Sorry. Can you hear me?
No,
I love the backing singers. I love the backing singers. The Malta song, they were fantastic. Yeah, I'm not doing it. I didn't have to drink, but yeah, it was fun. And I've got problems with my latches falling off now from having to go. And my A's fell off twice now, which is, you know, I normally have problems with my P's and Q's, not my A's and my R's. Malta song, fabulous. I agree with Martin. Martin put a comment in the chat room that France is best by far in this batch. I really, really think it is. Well, Tony Vegas rather, from Austria. It's like if you were a Tom Jones off Wish, isn't he? Really? But he's got a great voice. It was a good song. Sorry?
I said he's got the earring in. You know, he's trying to be a bit more modern, Tom Jones.
Have you got the earring in, Tom?
Oh, God, no. One wouldn't get one's ears pierced.
Oh, no. One wouldn't do that, would one?
No. Speaking of the dancing, I mean, do you reckon this? Are we starting to see the start of something where sort of like dancers might get a bit more involved with this? Are they still trying to knock at the door of perhaps giving a more involved performance?
Well, I mean, look at it. I mean, 1981, Bucks Fizz. I mean, they were dancing then. So where's all the dancing gone? Because these entries up to now, they've been pretty dull, haven't they, really? There's not been a lot going on.
They are very much stuck.
And what really didn't help the entire production, I thought, was there were so many long shots far away taken from the stage, prolonged long shots, and it just got rid of any atmosphere that was that should have been present there. It was, all in all, I didn't think it was the very best produced show. But
true, but then I mean, I'm going to bring Matt in on this. I mean, do you not think this was systematic of where they chose to hold it? Because that stage looks very limited, and if you look very closely, you can see that a whole load of it's a load of mirrors to create an illusion of something rather than what's actually there.
Yeah, I think it reminded me almost of the Irish national final this year, where some of the songs you could hear the orchestra, but you couldn't really hear the person singing. And I just don't think it's a great place to have Eurovision somewhere like that. And just overall, some of the performances, I just thought you can't really hear them. Like Sean said, I think some of the camera angles weren't very good either. And overall, I just think it just wasn't a very good place to have Eurovision, I don't think.
I mean, it was the brainchild of an Irish entrepreneur whose name escapes me at this point in time. But he was someone who was in the audience watching the '92 contest and got on the phone to RTE literally as soon as the contest was over and was like, "Maybe you thought about hosting it here." And spent a lot of money. I think he made a lot of money on holding it at this equestrian arena. Because I don't think the arena had actually opened at that point in time. I think it was very much an inaugural thing and a way to boost Cork as well. because obviously Mill Street is situated in County Cork. So, what were your opinions on that? I mean, I'm assuming that your favourite must have been La France.
Yes, I did like France, but although I liked it, I did think it was quite Italian sounding. There seemed to be quite a few songs that were either very French sounding or Italian sounding. But yeah, I did think it was very relaxing, and I think these songs in general were just so much better than the first 6 that we had. And yeah, I think Austria would have been good at the start. It was so much energy, and yeah, I feel with these songs we actually had people who actually seemed to want to be there rather than the first 6 songs where a lot of them it just seemed like they just couldn't be asked to be there.
This is true. This is true. Mick, let's come to you. Austria. I mean, this was the 2nd consecutive outing for Tony Vegas. It brought a bit of tempo, didn't he, to the proceedings?
Definitely. And, you know, you can't go far wrong with a title called Maria Magdalena, can you? You know, it's, you know, even Doris pinched it later.
I was going to say, just ask Doris.
It's not like Doris, I'm afraid. But, yeah, it was a good upbeat and up-tempo. And, yeah, I think that this next batch of songs, things were starting to get a bit more lively. After Finland, Portugal are my favourite Eurovision country. And I thought she did quite a good song, and her voice was really good as well. But I think we should have, you know, justice for Barbara. You know, that outfit wasn't that bad. I mean, look at me. But yeah, again, that was a nicely sung song. So I think, yeah, the interest in the competition was starting to build up. Yeah, but. Yeah, the French one was the one that really did stick out quite by a mile.
It was France coming 4th there, just behind Switzerland. Yeah. Belgium, bottom, 25th place.
I know.
Alina, as a proud Belgian, how would you rate Belgium's efforts in 1993?
Oh, what are you asking me? I would not score my country so high that year. I think not last, but it wouldn't be much higher also. Like, I love the fact that it was a Flemish song, because I would love to see some more Flemish songs representing Belgium. But yeah, the only good thing that came out of it was the Barbara Dex Award. So.
And Michelle, as a fashion icon, would you say, you know, the Barbara Dex Award was well deserved, or was the outfit as bad as
we've seen? We've seen a lot worse than that. I mean, come on, why were they picking on her? I mean,
I think it's because Dutchmen, I think 2 Dutchmen created the award, and you know, Netherlands, Belgium, we kind of pick on each other, so maybe that's why. And also she was butchered in a Dutch TV show or through a Dutch TV host, so maybe I think that's the reason.
Yeah, so obviously it was a man. Of course it was. That makes sense.
I mean, he wasn't the best dress that we've ever seen, but we've seen worse than that.
Yeah.
And also, you know, I think she made the dress by herself.
Yeah.
Well, that makes it doubly bad. At least, you know.
And you know, she's a young woman singing there, and she sang nicely. Didn't deserve 25th. He wasn't that bad a song. But to be just remembered for having a bad dress, I think that's not really fair.
Look at Celine Dion's dress when she won for Switzerland. I mean, oh my God, that was horrific. And yet, you don't have an award for that, do you?
No.
You know, award for almost losing Eurovision because everyone thought your dress was awful. She nearly didn't win because the dress was bad.
No, I mean, the thing that sprung to my mind is because you can see like the undergarments underneath. And I was reminded of an interview done with Katie Boyle once, where I think it was ahead of thing. Oh, it was a contest in colour. Was it 74 in Brighton? Where basically just before the show, they said, we can see your undergarments under the outfit. It's all got to come off, and she had to take all her undergarments off. Well, I couldn't help but feel that maybe, just maybe, if she'd been a bit more subtle with what was underneath, because if you see like the black kind of strappy top like underneath and things, and I'm like, maybe if you'd have done something perhaps more complementary with the colour.
At one point in the 90s, it was all the rage to have a see-through-ish top with a black bra underneath it. So that's probably why she did it.
Too young for
that. Such a liar.
Right, the other thing I want to talk about as we go through these, because I think we need to talk about postcards, because I've noticed that some postcards, you know, Tommy Seaback, you know, we saw for Denmark when the postcard was there, got to enjoy a little tot of Irish whiskey. Niamh Kavanagh for Ireland goes and, you know, sees some sheep being woven. Poor Portuguese, Annabella from Portuguese. I don't know if anyone actually saw the postcard where they basically put her through a Gaelic lesson. Do you not think some of the artists got broader deals than others? Panel, what do you think? Let's go to Sean.
I've had a Gaelic. Sorry. There's quite a lot of fish involved. I felt sorry for the people who had to be involved with handling fish. Put it that way.
Yeah, that was another raw deal as well, wasn't it? Literally. Yeah. But I just felt sorry for the fact that, and then the instructor comes along and tells her, you know, how are you getting on, and then makes her kind of pronounce the stuff in Gaelic. And I thought, this goes beyond sort of like nice stroll in Irish countryside, or, you know, little tot of whiskey, or let's go see some wildlife. Like, sit there, learn some Gaelic. It's like, fair enough. As Lee has put in the chat room, Tom, you're being picky. I'm hosting. It's what I'm paid to do. Paid. Right.
You're getting paid?
Hang on, you're getting paid?
I want to know.
Yeah, I knew that would upset some people. Right. Guys, that is our second 6 songs done. Coming up, we've got some more. And keep an eye out. You can never underestimate Ireland in this competition, said the once late great Terry Wogan. Let's take a look.
Samla mina tankar i ensamhet innan jag går ut. Eller vill du att jag ska gå?
My feelings locked inside. I built you all around me, afraid of letting go. But suddenly an open door I never saw before. In your eyes, I see the light leading me home again. It's heaven in your arms, my love. My heart is in your hands. I see the light leading tuonne poutapiikki taivaan. Tule luo, ole kasse aamun maa. Tule luo, kuunnellaan, katsellaan, kuljetaan. Tule luo, aikaa pieni hetki on vaan. Tule luo, ovet kohta suljetaan. Huomaan poutapilven taivaan. Tule luo. Tule luo, ovet kohta suljetaan. Huomaan poutapilven taivaan. Tule luo.
Ja ne mogu skinuti zvijezde sa neba, da znaš da sam živ ljubavi. Sva bol svijeta je noćas u Bosni, da ti prezi. Ja znam da zapjevam, ja znam da pobjedim. Bol svijeta je noćas u Bosni, ostaje da bolu prkosim. Ja znam da pobjedim.
Some more fabulous entries, and I think we're starting to get an idea of why 1993 is so iconic. Because let's face it, if you haven't heard of some of these by now, where have you been? You call yourself a Eurovision fan? Just saying. We've got songs there from Sweden, Ireland, Luxembourg, Slovenia, Finland, Bosnia and Herzegovina. It's the irony isn't lost on me that, you know, Luxembourg, it was their final Eurovision performance until this year, was followed by Slovenia, who put in their first Eurovision performance. Let's go straight to the panel. Let's go straight to Michelle, in fact. Let's just catch up on the chat very quickly, and then I'll get your views. What are the chat rooms saying about this bunch?
Well, Lee's loving having you on it. Yeah, and also we've got a lot of Neem there. Tracy's loving Neem, and as is Dan. It says
Leave Kavanagh.
It's such a classy song. Yeah, Tracy Neem all the way. Marty says we've got Marty saying there's a massively strong 6 there. What else have we got? Lee's also liking Donny Martin Chance.
I think he likes all of them.
To be fair, because he also has a soft spot for Tui Luau as well. And yeah. Yeah. So I think Lee's just liking everything.
That's good. That's what you're all
fair
about.
enough.
Yeah. I'd just like to
like that.
I'd like to point out. Oh, go on, Sean.
If it wasn't for Lee, we wouldn't have a show, would we?
I'd just like to point out that if Sean's coming to Sweden and the one with the mullet, why aren't you playing the guitar, Sean? Go and get your guitar.
No.
And also Luxembourg, how come the bloke came as David Bowie from Labyrinth?
To be fair, Sean could have worn a simpler jacket and just got away with being one half of Luxembourg as well at the same time. Maybe, Sean, if the R and the A fall off, that's what you could do.
Yeah.
Costume change at half time.
I did like the fact that Finland have brought the accordions. You love a bit of accordion in Eurovision.
But how come there were 3 backing singers and 2 of them had accordions? Why did that woman not have an accordion? It should have been 3 accordions.
Maybe when you're a lady, you get your nipples stuck, you squeeze them together. I don't know.
Jesus, Phil. I'm gonna explain something to you after.
Okay.
Let's dive into the things of this. First of all, who should we go to? Let's go to Mick to start off with. Finland came 17th. What did you think?
Well, as always, Finland. I've always loved the Finnish entries, and I think they've often been overlooked and underappreciated. And this one was just, you know, it grew, and as Phil says, it's got accordions. I mean, what can you not like? It just built up. It's a Finnish classic, actually, and you know, it's in my top 10 of all their entries, and it's just absolutely wonderful. I think Finland was starting to be better appreciated, but this one certainly deserved better, much higher. Martin, I think possibly because it was in this group of 6 where it was really quite strong, as Martin said. Lots of really good entries there. I think the contest had finally kicked in at that point, with those 6 there, because they were all excellent songs. I thought.
Were there any other favourites there for you, Mick?
I'm trying to think now. I've got scribbled. I've scribbled something down. Where we're in this one, Finland. Well, we cannot say anything without mentioning Niamh Kavanagh. I mean, what a goddess! And it's, for me, that is the best Irish entry ever. You know, ever. You know, it beats everybody. And shock, horror, I actually liked Sweden that year. It's unbelievable. But yeah, that was very bouncy and sing along. I couldn't believe I actually liked a Swedish entry.
Hey, liking it. Let's go across to Alina. Alina, what were your favourites there?
My favorites were Sweden and Ireland. And I mean, when you hear Sweden, you're just singing Eloise all day long, like for the rest of the day. It's such an earworm. So those are my 2 favorites.
Hey, thank you very much. Now, Matt, Slovenia represented for the first time in the contest. Bosnia represented for the first time in the contest. They had to go through a preliminary round to get there. As I mentioned very briefly earlier, do you think this was the fairest way to incorporate the newest countries into the contest at the time?
Yeah, it was a difficult one. I do think a preliminary round was good. I know, like in '96, they just listened to them rather than actually like saw them. So I feel it was okay, but I do feel that the system we've got now is much better, where everyone has to, well, apart from the big 5, everyone has to compete to get into Eurovision. So yeah, I think the system that we've got now is much better than then. Yeah.
And what did you think of Slovenia and Bosnia's first attempts?
Slovenia I thought was really good, really enthusiastic. I really like the dance moves with this bit. And Bosnia, I thought it was okay, not as good as Slovenia. I thought Slovenia was like really enthusiastic, but Bosnia for me was just sort of not great but not terrible, just sort of in the middle.
Hey, did you pick up on the fact that Bosnia and Malta seem to have very similar dance moves?
Yeah, they did seem to. Yeah, I felt like there was quite a few entries where there seemed to be quite similar dance moves, and but yeah, overall I just thought it was sort of in the middle, not great, but not terrible.
Hey, right, Sean. Our Bingana, were they robbed?
I mean, no, Sonia were robbed. Let's face it, we'll come to her next. But Arvin it was a really good song, and it was actually my second favorite of the night, to be honest. I think it's epic. I love it, and I love the bit that we do with the mic and the. They still do that bit now when they perform the song. Ireland, look, it won. We know it won, and. Was it Mick who just said it was one of the best Irish songs of all time? I'm sorry. I think it's the worst winning Irish song, to be fair. I mean, she's got a great voice. Don't get me wrong, as Niamh, but the song's just middle of the road. It's nothing spectacular. It's nothing special, in my opinion. Obviously, the entire voting public proved me wrong. Luxembourg, I think, shame they finished after this this contest, really. Their hair, though, that should have its own show. Definitely. It really should. I thought it was a great debut by Slovenia. I love the outfits. I love the song. I thought it was really, really good. Finland, double points from me, double extra points for the accordions. 2 accordions. Have we seen 2 accordions before? I don't know. But anyway, was it a first? Don't know. Bosnia-Herzegovina, quite like the song. Not sure about the walking, the bobbing, backing singers, and he had a really sweaty top lip. Bless him. It must have been hot and melting, just like I am right now.
Aww. I was going to say, the one thing I'm going to bring up, see, I quite like the Irish entry. I've met Neve a couple of times. Absolutely lovely lady. The one thing that I did notice upon that rewatch, though, her feet were very much glued to the spot. Even when she actually went for the high note, there was no kind of step back and prepare, as you see with some of them. Essentially, it's like, boom. She's glued to the spot. She just alters the head slightly. Big thanks to Eurotowley. Only dropping in now. Love Luxembourg, Slovenia, and Denmark. Don't forget Israel and the infamous piano lady. Don't worry, Israel's up next. You haven't missed them. Apparently, she went crazy during the week in Mill Street, and the other Shira members were scared of her. Oh, that sounds hilarious. Michelle, is she a kindred spirit to you? That's the question. Michelle's nodding her head. Look, she's already excited.
Yeah.
Love it. Right, guys, we've got our final 6 songs coming up. My challenge for you, I feel like it's like, I'll set you a little challenge, is listen very carefully to the Croatian entry. There we go. Listen very carefully to the Croatian entry. And I'll tell you for why after this.
Do things that make me blue. You know my love is always true. Baby, don't do things that make me cry. I just can't seem to sleep at night. You know I love you every day. It breaks my heart. He goes away. But the devil you know, the devil you know. Give me my heart and my soul, baby, give me your love. Don't tell me lies, boy. Don't say goodbye. The devil, the devil, the devil you know, the devil you know. Breaks my heart, yeah, he goes away, the devil you know, the devil you know. The devil you know, the devil you know. Zelfs de allerduurste auto kan niet zwemmen. En als het nat is, heeft hij moeite om te remmen. Vanzelf gaat. We bouwen huizen om elkaar te weerstaan. En maken schepen om in elders op te varen. De sleutel van de land die nooit kapot zal gaan. Het wil alleen nog niet zo lukken. Om de vrede te bewaren. Tisuće snova dalekih, oni za njega. Je promačena. Don't ever cry, don't ever cry. Never say goodbye, never say goodbye. Don't ever cry, don't ever cry. Never say goodbye, never say goodbye. Don't ever cry. My Croatian Todos los hombres son tan egoístas que han confundido macho con machista.
είναι κάποιοι από μας. Μη σταματάς στους ανθρώπους να δίνεις βοήθεια. Μη προσπέρνας, μη φοβάσαι να δεις τα συντρίμια. Τη ζωή την πληγώνει συχνά η αλήθεια. Μη σταματάς, μη σταματάς, μη σταματάς.
الجودة يا غالي يا ميم آخرين حياتي بيننا نسيم سسارين انشاروا بالليلة خار شيرو شيرو بقروني خار شيرو شيرو بأتيكو يا شيرو سيكا صار سيسر يبقانا Treffer deg om kvelden, og du ser på meg med dette underlige lys. Alle mine tanker de flyr til deg. Alle mine drømmer de åpner. Alle mine ord ser en bak deg. Du ligger i min seng og sover, og sover.
Our final set of entries there. We had the UK, Netherlands, Croatia, Spain, Cyprus, Israel, and Norway. You know what? I'm going straight to the chat room first. Obviously, massive thanks to Eurotally for their comment. Also, big thanks as well to Lee as well. Something towards the running of the channel. Eurotally said that's the money for the gin to get through some of the stinkers in 1993. It's funny you should mention that.
Need more than 20 quid, pal.
Me and Michelle.
No, that's lovely though. Thank you very much.
On that.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Very, very, very grateful. Picked up on it as well. Croatia singing their chorus, no less, for their song, something that wasn't very much allowed at the time. Martin says they gave us the closest entry ever to a Christmas song. We've also got Hombres Ole. This was the MTV's version of Slow Mo as well. Also, I have to say, oh, well, what can we say? That piano lady, my God, the crazy eyes. Whew, let's give you a run for your money, Michelle.
She looked like she would kick the shit out of you rather than look at you, didn't she? It's like, vote for me or I'll come down your house.
I know.
It was charity shots too.
I like how she got up from the piano and went, right, I'm going in the middle. She's going to be the one to the side.
The way it was just like, boom.
Boom, shit.
Absolutely brilliant. Need to find, but do you know what, Eurotally, if you post the video on YouTube, if you post the link in the chat room, that would be fabulous, because I think we would all love to see that after the show as well. Panel, there is so much there to pick up on. Who should we go to first? Let's go to Alina first. Ruth Yacott, I don't know if you saw the postcard compared to how she dressed on the actual night, but oh my God, biggest glow up ever. Is this woman not just a pure diva?
She is. And I love this song. Like, I think also the song has a lot of diva potential. But I actually have a little how you call it, like little. Did you know? So did you know that Better the Devil You Know became 46th in the Flemish Ultra Top?
Wow. See,
So that says
Sonia
a lot.
really was robbed.
Yeah.
So, although UK and Netherlands together, I mean, let's just go to Matt quickly. I mean, you know, do you reckon this was just something which did them both wrong, as it were?
Yeah, I feel they really both of them cancelled each other out. I think Netherlands deserve much better than 6th. I think like the UK or Netherlands, if you put them at the start with the other ones, I think they would have really stood out. And I think both of them, if you've separated them, could have done much better.
Yeah, and what were your other favourites there, Matt, as well?
Oh, so many. So yeah, love Netherlands, love the UK. Spain was just crazy. It was like they're all on something. I thought Israel was okay. But yeah, I'd say yeah, definitely UK, Netherlands, and Spain were my favourites out of those.
I was going to say, with Spain, was it the slight fear that they'd seen the Israeli lady just before they'd gone on stage?
Yeah.
Was that the...
Yeah.
Just throwing that one out there. Right, let's go to Sean, because you said Sonia was robbed. I'm going to put something to you here, Mr. Dwyer, and I'm going to say to you that I think it was the orchestration that did her dirty, because I don't think the orchestra version of Better the Devil You Know actually is good as the studio version, and I think that was really what was the problem there, not the actual result.
I'll give you that one. You're probably right, Tom, to be fair. It was still, though, in my opinion, by far and away the best song of the night. It really was. Vocally, she was superb. It was just brilliant. I loved it. But I think, yeah, if you compare the two, definitely maybe the studio version is stronger. Yeah, it's such a shame, isn't it? Another second place that we should have actually won. There's quite a few of them, to be honest.
16, if we look back.
Yeah, I know. Crazy, isn't it? But I mean, as for the rest of them, I mean, it's quite a strong bunch of songs, isn't it? I love the Netherlands song. I love Ruth's song. It was fab. I thought the Croatia song was boring, though. I've got to say, it was the first attempt. I wasn't a fan of that one at all. Spain, fantastic. I loved it. Those backing singers in the Spanish song are everything. There was a bit towards the end where it looks like we're just trying to outdo each other. It was brilliant. I absolutely loved it. What was song 23? What was that one? What was it? What country was it?
Cyprus.
Yeah. Zimbulakis or whatever he's called. Them two guys should do a movie together. Anyway, moving on. 25, song 25, she looked like Toya off Corrie, a young Toya off Corrie, didn't she? Why that did so well for Norway, I've got absolutely no idea. But in my opinion, out of the entire contest, the UK should have won that by a long way.
See, we'll come back to the voting in a bit. But I'm going to go to Mick on this. Norway, I mean, I can't help but feel there's been a couple of times in this contest where they've produced a good, simple song, come on last, and claimed a top 5 placing. I'm very much reminded of 2008, where literally they came on, Hold On, Be Strong, came on, simple performance. I mean, certainly for me, it kind of dived under the radar, and all of a sudden, boom, up the scoreboard it goes. Is simple best?
I think in this case, definitely. I think looking at it from modern eyes, such a quiet song to finish the show does seem a bit strange. But what I loved when I was watching it was when she was getting into the song, obviously the Norwegians in the crowd were clapping along and trying to get Mill Street, woken up a little bit and get along with the song. And I think it's an absolutely beautiful, simple song, and I can see why it did so well, because right at the end, you've got nothing else to compare it to, and there's been a lot of bouncy popular ones Sonia. You can't get more bouncy than Sonia, can you? and the Spanish one, oh crikey, yeah, they definitely had the Blue Smarties, I think. But yeah, I think sometimes simple does work and does stand out.
Cool. And Phil and Michelle, don't worry, I've not forgotten you. Croatia, they sung in English, their chorus in English. The song title, obviously, Don't Ever Cry. They did the best out of the new countries. They came 15th. Also, on top of this, for the second year running, the top two songs were both in English. In 1992, it was Ireland, the UK, and Malta. There were three English songs at the top there. Do you reckon this was the moment where they started to actually think, hang on, this language rule needs to go by the wayside?
Yeah, probably. But to be fair to Croatia, I think it had probably done better if they had sang it in Croatian.
It wasn't a great song, was it?
But you're right with the rule. If the top three is consistently in English, you're going to think, well, why can't I sing in English?
I know it sounds very arrogant, but for a lot of people in Europe, English is their second language. So it is easier to understand a song in English than in a different European language. That's not to say that obviously songs don't do well in their own language, because obviously
look at Italy. Look at Italy. Yeah.
Quite often, if the song sounds good, it will do well. But I think, the language rule is a bit of a disadvantage, I think.
Yeah, I think countries now are going back to their own language, though. A few of them are. They've realised that sometimes you speak the language or not, and I think people are realising that.
Yeah.
But I think this was definitely a turning point. But I think now we're at a turning point again, going back to original languages.
I think nowadays people are sending sort of more powerful, meaningful songs.
Well, not even that. But it's like, look at Cha Cha Cha. If that was in English, you'd sort of go, Mah. But it's not, and it makes it more powerful because it's not in English.
Yeah. But I was thinking of Constructor.
Yes.
That was a very powerful message. But it just worked in that language. So I think countries should have the freedom to choose.
And I think this was a turning point.
Yeah.
We're going to ignore it and sing it in English. Then they have to go, well, go on then, just sing it in English.
Yeah, because let's not. I mean, just to add to the conversation on this, obviously, the year after, Poland make their debut in the contest. Tune Ya, they come second. But one of the reasons why people say they come second is that actually in the rehearsal before the live show, when the judges were all watching, she actually performed it in English, not Polish, and came second again to Ireland. So it adds to it, doesn't it? Guys, did you have any other favourites, by the way, in that selection? Because I know I've dragged you into the conversation about the language rule, Phil and Michelle. But did you have any songs you wanted to mention there?
Spain. Oh my God, they were everything. I would pay good money to watch them have a dance off.
That dancing was spectacular, wasn't it?
Why did that not do better? I'd have voted for that.
And Donna's obviously liking the outfit, as you can see. The dress reminded of a Blue Peter special. Like she took her undies up and sewed the lace onto the shoulder and took the fringing from some. It was like some proper good fringing going on there around the boob area, wasn't it?
Oh, I wish I could dance like those backing singers. It was. They would definitely. honestly had the blue Smarties, as Mick said, without a doubt.
At least pointed out four of the top 5 songs.
What?
I guess that last batch was that. Is that right?
This is where, because Lee's talking about in 2021.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I
songs
misunderstood.
in English.
Yes,
We're
yes.
gonna
And that
Pete.
goes back to the idea that we're going into another turning point. If we go back, lots of the entries across the, from, let's have a think. You got, obviously, most of the 90s, they're in English because they're all Irish. Four Irish. Another one comes from the UK, so that's 5 there. But also the English songs do very well regardless in the 90s as well. And then, of course, in the 2000s, when the language rule was lifted in 1999, you have English winner after English winner. I think eventually broken by Mollet Var in 2007. But she is a rare moment there with it. Guys, we are nearly at the end. We've listened to all the songs. Okay, the final thing, the denouement, should be to look at the voting. Let's look at some of the highlights, and then we'll present some delicious conundrums. How's that? Let's take a look.
Ireland, Bosnia, Herzegovina, 12 points. And Switzerland, 12 points. Irland, 12 points. France, 12 points. Norway, 12 points.
For joint first position, Ireland, Norway.
United Kingdom, 12 points.
12 points. On to the next jury, which I think is what should be Malta, but I think we're going to just pass over that for the moment and try and go to the Icelandic jury.
And United Kingdom, 12 points.
We missed the Maltese jury. We will go back to them at the end of all.
United Kingdom, 12 points.
From the United Kingdom in first place at the moment with 64 points.
And France, 12 points. La Suisse, 12 points. Ireland.
And the Netherlands, 12 points.
The United Kingdom is still in the lead with 95 points.
Et la Suisse, 12 points. Ireland, 12 points. Norway, 12 points.
And Austria, 12 points. And indeed, the United Kingdom in the lead. We will.
Ireland, 12 points. Ireland, 10 points.
Ireland, 12 points. Irland, 12 points.
This was wrong. I said Ireland, 10 points.
Ireland, 10 points. Excuse me, I got carried away.
Portugal, 12 points. Norway, 12 points. Portugal, 12 points.
Ireland, with a huge lead of 11 points.
And Greece, 12 points. 12 points from Jerusalem to United Kingdom.
United Kingdom, 12 points.
Ireland.
Now, it all depends on if we can get contact with the Maltese jury.
Good evening, Mill Street, St. Julian's, Malta calling. Slovenia, 1 point. Finland, 2 points. The Netherlands, 3 points. Bosnia-Herzegovina, 4 points. Switzerland, 5 points. Greece, 6 points. Italy, 7 points. Spain, 8 points.
Spain, 8 points. España, 8 points.
Luxembourg, 10 points.
Luxembourg, 10 points. Luxembourg, 10 points.
And finally, Ireland.
In your eyes.
And there you have it. Ireland won the contest. If you noticed, and I still can't, the name still escapes me, that Irish entrepreneur who bought the 1993 contest to Mill Street is the guy who, at the very end of that tape, obviously, they zoom in on. He was the guy that brought Eurovision to Mill Street at that point in time. Obviously, the real controversy I want to talk about is how the people at the bottom 5 were thinking, do you know what? This is safe. At least we're not going to come last. And all of a sudden, Malta come along and give Luxembourg 10 points. How the hell? No, obviously, panel, how different things could have been if Malta had voted in their correct position in the first place, providing nail-biting voting we wouldn't see again till 1998. Explaining perhaps why Terry Wogan was so excited in the United Kingdom when, if anyone has ever watched the contest, of course you have, you're true fans, when Malta gives the UK a 1 point, just 1 point, in 1997. Let's go to Matt, because we say that Sonia was robbed, but do we think she was robbed because Malta only voted last and our hopes were kind of unfairly built up to the point that this could be the UK's 5th Eurovision victory?
I just think compared to Ireland, her song was just so much more enthusiastic. I thought it was very quite ahead of its time as well. I think there were a lot of songs that year that were quite old-fashioned, whereas I think the UK was just really catchy, something you could dance to. And yeah, I just overall just thought it was just much better than Ireland, I thought.
Hey, thanks. And Sean, let's go to you as well. Think the Maltese voting had any impact on perception or not?
I've got a theory about this, and my theory is, isn't it bizarre that they gave Luxembourg 10 points at the end? I think that they're real points that Malta actually really gave 10 points to the UK. But they didn't want to do that. If they announced the UK 10 points, it still would have fell short of a win. So why not leave it till the very, very last moment to find out what the winner is? And I actually think that Malta really gave the UK 10 points and not Luxembourg. But for the sake of tension and excitement and revealing the winner at the very last moment, I think that they did it that way.
Or did they stitch up the UK? And was Ireland supposed to get 10 points and they were supposed to give the UK 12?
Can I just say something?
Like that, go on, Michelle.
Can I just say something before we all jump down the conspiracy theory rabbit hole of nut jobbiness? Surely, during the interval act or whatever it is, they have to declare their results so that people can't cheat like this. It happens now. It will have happened then. It will have always happened, apart from when Katie Boyle used to do it. It didn't, they didn't do it. But in those days, technology had come a long way, and they had to declare their results before all this shenanigans. Because if they couldn't have got through to Malta, the lady would have announced, "We have the results from Malta. We just can't get through to them." So you're all just spouting bollocks.
I disagree.
Dare I say it? And I'm going to throw it out there, and I will admit, and I'm going to use this term, allegedly, Malta have been known to tart themselves around countries to gain some points, having been embroiled in a scandal in 2002 involving Romania, for example. Allegedly, could this be one of the reasons why Luxembourg gets 10 points in the first place? Because allegedly, maybe they may have. I'm sure everyone else can do the maths on that one.
We lost fair and square. Get over it.
we lost. At the same time, I think the real losers in this actually are the ones that actually come at the bottom of the pile, because I can't understand why Luxembourg would get 10 points when they only managed 1 point from every other jury. Maybe that's just me. Ireland win. Alina, reactions, fair result?
Yeah, and maybe it's because I'm the only Belgian here in this group. I'm like, get over it, move on. Ireland won, okay. And also, I would say drink if Tom says allegedly too much.
That's what I've been doing. This has been a miraculously filling glass. I got it off of Phil and Michelle when I visited last year. It's amazing. I put it down, boom, it goes up again with gin and tonic. Brilliant. I recommend it. Available at all good magical stores. Mick, fair result?
Sorry, I was having trouble with my my finger getting unmuted. I think overall, I mean, you know, come on, we're Eurovision fans. We all love the drama of it all, and you know, I think Sonia came so close. You know, and as Brits, you know, we're just on the edge of our seats, really. It was the 90s. Even when they sent shite songs, Ireland won, you know. So, you know, there you go. A bit like Sweden in the modern era, if I may say so. But I think... but Finland was robbed.
Saucer of milk, please.
Finland was robbed, if anybody.
Fair enough. Who have I not gone to? Phil and Michelle. Were there? I mean, let's face it, we're all true Eurovision fans. Only true Eurovision fans would be analysing the shit out of some results out of a contest that took place 31 years ago. But were there any songs there that you think have the right to be hard done by? Aside from Sonia, are there any songs there where you think to yourself?
Yeah,
Spain, Switzerland.
I'm gonna say poor old Barbara Dex didn't deserve to come 25th.
Well, she wouldn't have done if Luxembourg hadn't got 10 points.
No.
Vegas.
Well, it's Vegas because it's German, isn't it? So, yeah. I thought Austria deserved better.
Where was the one with two accordions? I always liked two accordions.
Two accordions. Who was that?
I don't know.
I forgot now.
Going to go through it. There you go.
Yeah, Finland. Yes, it was Finland.
Rob.
Yeah. But I mean, going back to the Sonia and the UK and Ireland thing, there were two very different songs, and it's very difficult to compare songs that are completely different in style. So, yeah, I don't begrudge it too much. You know,
I'm over it.
Yeah.
To be fair,
over it. Yeah.
Both are still on my playlist, even now. There we go. And with that, our retrospective look at 1993 comes to a close. If anyone's interested in my 2 pence for what it's worth, do I think any countries were robbed? Arguably, would Switzerland have done better if it had been further on? I don't know. And also, to be fair, I just think it was a very strong year. I think if you look back at it, as I hope some of you will go back and look at the 1993 contest again, having watched this, you'll see that there are some pretty iconic entries from 1993, which makes it, I think, quite underrated and a wee little gem in the Eurovision back catalogue. I'd like to say a massive thanks to the panel for joining me this evening. Before I say goodbye to them, let's not forget that you can keep the conversation going and watch our previous content. Follow us on YouTube, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Mastodon, and you can see the links just rolling along the screen there as well for you to follow. Michelle, what's coming up next?
What?
Next? It must be another A to Z, surely.
Or not?
It is.
Yeah, it's another A to Z. I don't know when, but it's another episode 4 it will be. If you haven't watched the other 3 episodes, please go back and have a look and make sure you comment whether you like them or not. We love all interaction. It's fine.
There we go. And for those that are uninitiated into this, This is the A to Z of Eurovision, where our favourite Eurovision panellists are giving their top threes of the different countries across Europe over the years. I'm yet to make an appearance on the A to Z, but don't worry, my entries in such things are just as you'd expect them to be. Anyway, right, on that note, I'd like to say a very fond goodbye and a big thanks to Alina. Thanks for joining us this evening.
Thanks for having me, and see you on the next one.
Hey, also a big thanks to Matt. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, guys. It's been good fun.
Big thanks to Mick as well, also for staying in that get up for so long. Wow.
Don't worry, it'll soon be coming off.
Not in public, I hope.
Yes, good night, good night, everybody. Lovely,
that'll be on his OnlyFans in 10 minutes.
I don't think I'll get a tenner.
Also, a big thanks to the person who's now gone for the Ruth Yacob collar, I think. It's Sean.
Oh, thank you so much, everybody. I'm itchy now. I need a shower after wearing that wig. I don't know where it's come from. Do you want to know which year? Because RetroVision will be back next month. Do you want to know what you were doing? Should I reveal it? Yeah.
Yeah. Ready? Yeah. What is it? It's a surprise to me.
Drum roll. We're going back to 1984.
Oh,
best get me golden shoes on. Also, big thanks to Sean as well, because all the videos tonight and everything have been produced by Sean. He's done an absolutely cracking job as always, and we are forever grateful to the effort he puts in there, because they take a lot of hard work and effort. And also a big thanks to the couple that keep us all in line. I think it's Phil and Michelle.
It's been a trauma.
Well, it's always a trauma, isn't it?
Yeah. Somebody is now on a list, and they're the only person on that list.
Best host ever. See, right? It's the list. Right. On that note, guys, enjoy the rest of your evening wherever you are. This has been a RetroVision 1993. Join us next week for the A to Z, and until that time, it's ta-ra for now. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.